So, servus. Welcome back to the next meme update. As always, I'm using this method for all the tracking, also for the memes. For more explanations, just watch the last weekly recap video. There I explained it in all details. I will show Bad Buff and Beyond, DGT, AMC, and KOSS. The bullish version and the alternative for it. I'm not showing GME just because right now I would have 5 or 6 versions because it's quite weird right now. And there would also be a version in it where GME goes to $2, and not even I believe that. So yeah, you won't hear from me next week. We will squeeze because of faded delivers or shorts are liquidated or all this bullshit. Because, yeah, I believe that all these stocks will go up and maybe even breaking all-time highs. But not because of some hedge funds I liquidated, just because of this year. So if you really want to learn something and if you really want to get an idea when these memes are squeezing, going up, just watch the video. I mean, all these other YouTubers which are saying every week, next week, since 4 years, how many times did that happen? Just saying. Okay, so we start with Bad Buff and Beyond. The bullish and the bearish. So here's the full chart, the full bullish chart of Bad Buff and Beyond. So I won't explain all this. We are only looking at what we did since 2020. So we had our V, our high low, our A peak, our B peak, and our all-time highs. Then we did our low high, our midpoint, perfectly with the trend line from our B bottom, where we bounced on it, fall under it, tried to get over it again, reject. One time we broke it, but we couldn't stay over it. We fall under it again, and then one last 2 times of rejection, and then we died. Then we came to a lower low from our endpoint. This was our T, our last time to sell, before we did the V on the A. And for the bullish tracking, this was our bottom here. This would have been our high low. And right now, we already did our A peak. The A pullback has to be finished. Really, I'm really saying this clearly. It has to be finished. And from here, we have to go up. Our next target for big B would be $36. And if this really, for the bullish version, was our A pullback, we would do something like this. I mean, maybe quicker, maybe slower. We checked somewhere here. B can be a little bit higher on the line or under the line. Then we get our 0.5 VIP pullback, which would be here. And then we can talk about if we're going over all-time highs or not. For confirmation for this, in my opinion, everything over $10 is bullish. Everything over $12 kills my bearish alternative. Then it's just gone. For the bearish alternative, this is my bearish alternative. Nothing really changing except one important thing. The only change in my one important thing is that our T wasn't this. T was our last peak. And that means only one thing. We have to do a lower low than April 7, 2025. If it's a higher low to 2020 or a new all-time low, we have to see. Just saying, I am really, and that's only my opinion, leaning to the bearish version. For me, personally, the bullish version is dead. Completely. With the move from last Friday, I'm absolutely not bullish anymore on Bad Bath & Beyond. I could be wrong, and that's why I'm showing both versions. Why I believe that? It's just the thing. You come from your M down, come up again, and you're doing here your M pattern or your W pattern. And the right side is higher. So, when did this happen? Well, in 2020. You come from your M pattern, fall down, come up again, and we look at that closer here. You come up again, do your M or your W. The right side is higher and your knife. That's why. Because Fractal is always repeating itself. And this is quite one-to-one. I mean, okay, we are way bigger and way slower right now. But that's normal. The repetition of the fractal normally is longer and bigger. And I would even say we are in this candle here. In this candle are we. Maybe you see that on the daily better. Yeah. You have here a bounce candle. You came down and you bounced. And in my opinion, this is this bounce. And I already said in earlier videos, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, I could say, yeah, perfect. I would still give this a chance of 40-50% to be bullish, but don't break this beer line at 762. And we did it 2 times. So let's see. For me, that's bearish. If you go up from here, I will be the first one say, okay, my opinion was wrong. There is no if, that, this, and that in that case. I will say, except all other YouTubers, I was wrong. If this goes up, I was wrong. Okay, next one is DGT, also bullish and bearish alternative. So for the bullish alternative, this is this here, we would be already in the third fractal. So this would be the first one, this would be the second one, and this would be the third one. And for the bullish alternative, you have to break our last peak at $57, because if you don't, you will make a lower peak the third time and the death spiral just continues. For the closer tracking, what we have done, we had a perfect V under A in September. We did our A, B, C. Here's your lower high. You came to our midpoint. For the bullish tracking, this has to be your T. You came to your V, to your lowest point. V under A is still working. And this whole thing here, this whole thing is just your higher low. This is just your higher low. And what should happen next is, first of all, you are not allowed to break under $15. You're just not allowed. If you break under $15, the bearish alt is taking place, and this V and A and this higher low is wrong. Right now, it's still holding. So for confirmation to the upside, everything over 20 bullish. Our next target should be $32 because that's our T line, or a little bit under it, a little bit over it. Then a little pullback. Maybe, no, not that would be too low. A little pullback. Your next target would be B at $43 again, over, under it, or on the line. And then you have to break 57. For confirmation for the downside, yeah. Everything on or under $15.01 is bearish. For the alternative, this is here the alternative, and it's completely different. For this alternative, you're only in fractal 1. So in this case, it doesn't matter if you're rejecting C, because it would only be the second time, and the C is way higher. So for this was your team, our last peak, and you're not done. You're just not done. You have to go somewhere under 1168. If it's a higher low to the IPO or a new all-time low, we have to see. This would be your V&A from IPO. You would come down here, do your higher low, and then you go. And I have to say, I would even like this version more, just because this would be from here to here, this would be a full complete fractal. And then we can look at the start again and say, okay, this will repeat. And that would mean really that you come down, make a V, waiting for the higher low, and then just do this. Same like in 2021. If we go slower, I would imagine you go down, high low, you go to your A, you make your A pullback, which will be breakout retest. So your A would be at 57, your pullback would be at 28. Then you go to your B, you do your 0.5 pullback, which would be for this case here, 47, and then breaking all-time highs or not. I would like this more because it's way, way financially better to play. But we will see. Also here, for confirmation levels, everything under $15.01, and this case is the case. So now to our fan favorite, AMC, the bullish and the bearish. Okay, here's the bullish one, and it's still working, even with the drop, but it's still working. So for the whole chart, first of all, we have this big megaphone. So I agree, there's a chance that our price target for the top is somewhere around 600, 500-ish. The same time, I don't think we will hit this lower trend line the same like in 2020. We didn't. So this hit on this trend line in March 2020 would be most likely our April 2024. We won't go down, most likely we won't go so deep. So For the tracking, we have, for our big tracking, we have our V here, our high low, our A, our B, and our C. Then our lower high, then our midpoint, and then our big T. The last time to say, before we drop to our V and A. And from April 2024 till today, for the bullish tracking would be our higher low. This whole big thing is just our higher low. And for the future, our price target for our A would be 76, for our B 151, and our C somewhere up there. For the closer tracking, let's look at this. For the closer tracking and for the bullish one, for this higher low would be that April was our V and A, higher low, A, B, C, just in one candle. Somewhere in here is your lower high. You come down, make a lower low. This would be your endpoint. You come down again, make a lower low than your endpoint. This was your T. And then you drop to your V under A. And then we start again for the thing what we did this year. For this year, you come from your V, high low. This here would be your A. That's important because this year in May was your A low. This was your B, this was your C. Here's your lower high. You come down to your endpoint, make a lower low. This would be a T point. And right now, we are V and A. Just saying. First of all, everyone thought that here in October was our V and A, and this would have been already our higher low, and we would have been ready to go. That's why also everyone was screaming, next week, next week, next week. So if this would have been true, yeah, we could maybe have seen something. Just for the future, everything over 317 is bullish. Your A would be at 347 and B would be 360. If you just don't see the small A, the small B, if you don't see anything stupid. Yeah. Okay, this was wrong. And we broke my B line. So what is it still bullish? Okay. We already also broke the higher low here. Just saying. So to be bullish and to say we have still a chance in November would be we are holding this right now. Then you could say this was your V, this was your V under A, and it would be this V under A. And right now we will just form a higher low. And from this higher low, we go. If we are not holding this, we will break 2.45, but that's for the bearish version. But just saying, because I think no other meme YouTuber will tell you this. You are not squeezing from here. You never did. You still need your higher low. So let's look how long all the other higher lows took. So this higher low took you 5 days. This higher low in May from your V took you 24 days. And the last important would be this, but this is the first one. This higher low took you 10 days. So okay, 10 days is still November. even 25 days is still November, but it would be end of November, just saying. And we are repeating this. And we are way slower. That's why this higher low took 9 days and these higher lows took 25 days. That's why I will say we are not squeezing next week. We are not squeezing the week after. Just saying. No financial advice, but this stupid idea to say every week next week only to be right in 5 years. Oh. Okay. So everything over 360, bullish, of course. If we break this low here again, you have, this is 249, this is 245. If you break under 249 again, you will break 245 and you will, and then the only question is, are you making a new all-time low or not? But to be fair, does it really matter? The option chain is already dead. So if you're making a new all-time low or not, doesn't matter at all. I would just wait for the higher low to be finished. It doesn't matter if it's this or if it's this. Wait that the higher low is finished, and of course, no financial advice, and then get into a position. For the alternative, I think it's the same what I showed. Price targets for ABC are unchanging. Yeah. And for the bearish alternative, we are doing a new all-time low. And I would think something like 230-ish, something. We won't go down here, in my opinion, but something in here. As I already showed, beer line was broken. The next beer line is 245. But it's close. It's close. No financial advice, but I would say I'm not saying January, November, or December. I would say latest. We see at least the run to A till March 2026. Okay, last one is KOSS. For KOSS, I think I have to go on the weekly. Okay. So, what is important for KOSS is this is since IPO till today. Since IPO till November 1984, this was your higher low. From 1984 till April 2020 was your A. And from the same, from March, April 2020 till today, and maybe even longer, is still your B. Why is that important? Just because B doesn't have to do V under A. B can end in a higher low. So what did we do? So this is our whole B. So we did our April 2020 B, our high low ABC, then LMT, and in May 2024 it was our perfect V and A. Then the same again, ABC, LMT, and now for the bullish version. For the bullish version, this higher low has to hold. That's really important. This higher low has to hold. And okay, let's look at for the bearish version. This was the bullish version. So, because MTV higher low, this whole thing is your higher low. For this to be right, we just go up. Our A would be at 6 if you're not doing something stupid. Breakout retest. our B would be at 8.55, and we go. For this, you're just not allowed to break 463. For the bearish version, this candle here, and I would even say this, yeah. For the bearish version, we were, and that's my problem, we were holded here. So the hold was clearly to preserve the pattern and the fractal. So I would lean more to this. And if you're believing in the theory that AMC, GME, KOSS, and all the meme stocks are all synchronized, if I would put that into my theory, I would say, okay, KOSS has a very good chance to still go down. Okay, then AMC, DGD, and GME also are doing the bearish alternative. But we will see. But for the bearish alternative, this was it. This higher low will be broken. And in my opinion, this V will also be broken then. You will come down to the straddle, and to be fair, this should be quite fast because all the other stocks are quite finished, even if they pull back. And you most likely will do your V under A, which is at least 311. And then you still do the same. Higher low, A pullback, B pullback, and whatever comes after that. If you don't see just this. Yeah. Okay. I would say no financial advice, but just for all the memes, wait for confirmation, wait for the higher lows to be finished, and go then into a position. It makes no sense when I hear other people saying just buy January's, especially now. Now it would make sense just buy June contracts because it makes no sense. Wait for the confirmation and then go in. And if you're interested, I have so many other tickers which are looking way better and way more finished to play them. Even placing SPY makes more sense than memes right now. But I will update this every week, or if there is significant movement. And yeah, if you have questions, write it into the comments. If you want to see other tickers, write it please in the playlist of the normal stocks. If you liked it, I also showed bullish tracking, okay? So if you liked it, leave a like. And thanks for watching. See you next time.